Okay, apologies for being late, everybody. The first embargo will be 1 o'clock. The second embargo will be 10:30 this evening. We'll start with James Cooper.
Good afternoon, Ralf. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
I'm just wondering, having played Aston Villa on Monday, I know it was a very different competition, whether it makes it harder playing them so soon or whether you go into the game with an advantage having won the game on Monday.
Well, at least we know from experience now what the challenge will be and how they are playing. We also know that we were able in a tough and tight game to beat them. Yes, and now it's about showing the best possible performance, bringing the best possible players and performance on the pitch in order to win the game at Villa Park.
You've been here just over 6 weeks. I'm just wondering your impressions on the Premier League. Is it the toughest, most demanding league in the world? Has it surprised you at all?
No, I wouldn't say it surprised me. Obviously, having no winter break, at least that was what I had expected. But since we had a couple of games called off due to COVID, we had a break. But in that break, we couldn't train, unfortunately, because we had to close Carrington for a couple of days. But yeah, in general, it was as expected. What a little bit surprised me was the way that even the teams in the lower ranks of the league are, again, very physical. Tactically very astute, playing in a very organized way. And this is different, I think. In this league, even against the bottom teams, it's never easy. It's not, even for the top teams, you can lose those games. Whereas in Germany, normally if Bayern Munich or the top teams in the German Bundesliga play the bottom teams, out of 10 games, they will normally win 8 or 9.
Simon Peach.
Hi, Ralf. Maguire, Sancho, Ronaldo and Jones missed the match on Monday. Will they be available and be involved tomorrow?
I think they will be available. They only trained yesterday for the first time. Cristiano yesterday, Harry, I think the day before yesterday. So as it seems now, we have to wait for the final training session this afternoon. But as it seems right now, they should be available for tomorrow.
You said after the game on Monday that Dean Henderson missed out through illness, but you also said that he'd requested a loan move a couple of weeks back. What is his situation there? Will he be staying at United this month?
Well, I told him that I would like him to stay because he's a fantastic goalkeeper. In training yesterday, he had another couple of fantastic saves, and I really like to have him on board as one of 3 top goalkeepers that we have. I can fully understand that he wants to play because he's in an age where as a goalkeeper you should regularly play. But on the other hand, we are still in 3 competitions. And therefore, we need the 2 and 3 goalkeepers we have right now. But I told him that. But as I said, I can also, on the other hand, understand his desire to get regular game time as a number 1 elsewhere in the Premier League.
Ben Brunson.
Hi, Ralf. What's the latest on Donny van der Beek? I know you've spoken about his position. Has there been interest in him, and could he be allowed to leave this month after all?
I mean, it's the same situation as it is with Dean. I'm glad to have him in the squad. He came on in the last 15, 20 minutes against Villa in the cup game, and he did well. He's always performing on a high level in training. So for him, I had a conversation with him 2 weeks ago after training exactly about that. And I told him that I would advise him to stay until the end of the season. And then, of course, with the World Cup coming up in the winter, he wants to play in the World Cup for his country. And Louis van Gaal obviously told him that in order to be a regular starter in the World Cup, he needs to regularly play for his team. And again, I can understand his wish and desire to play. On the other hand, we have a lot of competition in our squad exactly in those positions.
Simon Stone.
Hi, Ralf. Quite a few times after games recently, you've said you need to get the balance right between the offence and the defence. I'm wondering what work you are doing to try and bring that about, and whether after the time you've been in charge, you feel as though the players you have are capable of having that balance.
I mean, yes, I was fully aware that this cannot happen overnight, that this is a work in progress. I think we have shown that we have conceded fewer goals than a couple of weeks ago, but still, it's also about controlling the game. And obviously, we have taken a few steps, but things can still get better, and that's what we have to work on to find the best possible formation. Obviously, with now playing every 3 weeks, every 3 days, we also need to make sure that we have not only the best, but also the freshest players on the pitch. And this means that we might even be able to change formations during the game or from one game to the other. But as I said, it's still work in progress, and obviously still quite a few things and space for improvement.
Andy Nitton.
Hello, Ralf. You say it's still a work in progress and there's areas you're looking to improve. What are those areas specifically? Is it in certain areas of the pitch? Is it in individuals? Is it tactically?
I mean, if you want to control or dominate games, you can do it in two ways. It's one, how do you play if the other team is in possession of the ball? How proactive, how aggressive can you be? At the same time, not being weak on the counter-attack if you allow them too many spaces on the counter-attack. And the other one is you can gain control when you're in possession of the ball. And in both areas, I try to work and improve the team and get better on. But as I said, we've taken a few steps, but not as quickly as I would have hoped and wanted it to be. I mean, as coaches, you're always normally never patient. You always want to have and develop teams quicker and faster. But now, in the last couple of weeks, and even in the future, it's all about results, getting the best possible result out of each game. And this is true tomorrow. This will be true on Wednesday when we play Brentford. And 3 days later at home at West Ham, it's about getting the maximum points out of those games. And and the rest has to be developed at the same time.
The last question in this section for Michael Gray.
Hi, Ralf. Ralf, you've only lost one game since you've walked through the door at Manchester United. And I think you'd probably agree that the performances haven't been as good as we all expected them to be. Is that just down to a lack of confidence in the squad? And is that what you've got to try and find?
Well, as I said, in the first instance, it was about getting results, getting points. And of course, we were all disappointed about the home defeat against Wolves. Had we won that game, we would have been even more on track than we are now. But as I said, it's now about getting results, especially in the league, getting and collecting as many points as we possibly can. And yes, again, it's about the balance. How offensive can we play? With how many offensive players can we still play without conceding too many goals? And at the same time, making sure that we concede goals, at the same time be dangerous when we're in possession of the ball, either on the counter-attack in the transitional moments or when we're in possession of the ball ourselves.